today, what we're going to be doing is we are kind of shifting gears. We've been working on one-step equations. We actually did one and two-step equations all of last week and the week before. Really did a pretty good job. For those who were not here, what we did Friday was we took an equations test.
Are we going to get that back?
And you will get it back, but I still have 4 people who have not taken it, so it's not something I can release at this time. But you will get it back, and once those people take it, okay? And what we did in class, and I have detention this week, so you can just sit in with me if that would make it easier for you. We took the test, they brought it back to me, and I circled the ones that they needed to go back and look at. It could have been, hey, you missed a sign. Or it could have been, hey, you subtracted here when you should have added. I didn't say what it was specifically, but I circled it and they got another chance to look at it. So I will give you that benefit for those who are not here, okay? Now, today's objective, we're kind of shifting gears just a little bit, and we're going to move into inequalities. We're going to graph, and we're also going to learn how to write algebraic inequalities. Now, an inequality, I have it listed here in your notes. It's another math sentence. It's a mathematical sentence, and it uses these symbols: less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or even something like this, not equal to. That's an inequality as well. When you see an equal sign with a slash through it, that means it's not equal to. It's not equivalent to, okay? So the solution of an inequality, any value that makes the inequality true, then it's a solution and we can count it, okay? So example 1 is going to help you kind of visualize, how do I decide if a number is a solution or is not a solution? Okay, so they gave us this inequality right here. X is less than or equal to 2. So we're looking for numbers that are smaller than or equal to 2. And here's our list. We're going to plug in the following numbers: -3, we're going to plug in 0, we're going to plug in 2, and then we're going to plug in 4.5. Okay? And so where do you think we're going to stick these 4 numbers? Where do you think we're going to insert them into this inequality? Where x's. That's exactly right. Good job. So the first thing I'm going to plug in is -3. Is that less than or equal to the number 2?
Less than.
It is less than. So is -3 a solution?
Yeah.
It is, okay? I'm going to put a little check mark above that to remind me that that one worked, okay? Let's plug in 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 2? Yes, it is. All right. Is 2 less than or equal to 2? It works as well. Is 4.5 less than or equal to 2?
More than. So it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. 4.5 is not less than. It's actually 4.5 is bigger.
So are you trying to find out which one isn't?
Which of the ones work? Which of the ones?
What would be the answer?
-3, 0, and 2.
Okay.
And those are the 3 numbers that work.
Okay.
The only one that didn't work
It
was 4.5. And that's okay, it doesn't have to work. They're going to give you a couple that do work and a couple that don't work, okay? So just kind of be on your toes, anticipating that, all right? So let's try this one. This time they told us, okay, we need to find the numbers m is greater than or equal to -3. And these are our choices. So we only have 3 numbers this time to plug in: -8, -2, and 1.4. Okay, so let's start with -8. Is -8 greater than or equal to -3? It's actually less than. It's lower. I heard different ones of you say, oh, it's less than, it's lower, and you're right. So that's not one. I can't use that one. Is -2 greater than or equal to -3?
Yes.
Yes, that one worked. Is 1.4 greater than or equal to -3?
Yes.
Yes. So this time we only had 2 answers, but these are the solutions right here. Those are the only 2 numbers we were given that actually work. And that's okay. What if none of them works?
Then
You just write none. Yeah, you just write none. It's okay. And if they all work, then write them all down. Okay? Now, let's graph some inequalities. I'm going to do this on a number line. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do this. This is example 2. And they're going to give us the inequalities. I put a lot more than your book did, so I'm kind of moving away from your book just a little bit. I want to give you lots and lots of experience and show you how to do this, okay? Now, this says n is greater than or equal to 3. So all the answers are greater than or equal to positive 3 on the number line, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to graph ourselves a number line. Here we go. Okay. I like to put a couple of numbers in there. I don't like to just write one number, but I like to write several. So I'll do this because I need to at least have 3 in there. I'll probably go 2, 3, 4, just so I see a trend. So the numbers are getting bigger as I go to the right, and they're getting smaller as I go left, okay? Now, if you have a little key here, I want you to put a big cloud around that, okay? Put a big cloud around it, okay? That's a very important key because that's going to tell us what kind of dot to put above our number, okay? And a lot of teachers show you and teach you to do these on top of the number line. I do mine above the number line, so that's how I'm going to be a little bit different. I see it better, and then I don't always see, like, when you darken the line, I don't always see that right on top of the given line. So, all right, notice that we have greater than or equal to. If you have an equal to sign, you're going to do a filled in circle. Filled in. What that says is that number that dot is on top of is part of the answer, and we'll make it true. But if you don't see an equal to sign, like in letter B, see where it says just h is less than 7? If I plugged in 7 and I said, oh, 7 is less than 7. Actually, no, 7 equals 7. It's not less than. So I do an open circle, or I call an empty circle. You'll hear me use kind of interchangeably, open or empty, okay? So equal to sign, I'm going to do a filled in circle, completely filled in. The number that they gave you here, 3, is our starting place. That's where you're going to put your dot. So let's put our filled in circle. You can do this on the line, or you can emulate me and do it above the line. I see it better when it's above the line, okay? And then I have to decide which way to draw my line. Where are all the numbers that are bigger than 3? To the right. Heading towards 4, exactly. And so I'll just draw my arrow to the right. That's where all the numbers that are bigger than 3 belong, and there's your graph. Okay, that's how you graph it. That's it. Okay, h is less than 7. Okay, so I'll do, how about 6, 7, 8. What kind of circle is going to go over 7? Open circle. And then where are all the numbers that are smaller than 7? To the left. So you draw your arrow to the left. And that's how you graph h is less than 7. Okay? Let's do w is less than negative 3. So negative 3, we'll do negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Now negatives are weird because you don't graph them, the numbers don't go in the same order as the positives. Remember, on the positive side, it would be 2, 3, 4, left to right. But when you're going negative, it's right to left. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay? Oh yeah, I'll do the last 3. Actually, I probably need to do the last one just so you know how to do that one. That one's kind of a weird one, so the last one's a little odd. But yeah, somebody want to come up and show me this one? So Anna, since you volunteered originally, come show us how to graph W is less than negative 3.
So I'm pretty sure to like do it open
Yep, open circle.
and then
And where are all the numbers that are smaller than negative 3? That's correct. There you go. That's it. She did it. Okay. This one's kind of weird because notice in A, B, and C, I kind of kept the numbers fairly close to 0. Now I really blitzed you with a much bigger number. Don't panic as long as you've got, let's kind of get this started. Let's do 99, 100, and 101. And Sophie, come up and show us how to do x is less than or equal to 100. I think you shocked me. Just keep drawing it in until there it goes. That's what I do until it fills in. Where are all the numbers that are less than? There you go. Looks great. That's x is less than or equal to 100. That looks wonderful. Let's see here. Look at AB up here, and we'll do B is greater than negative 15. So let's do negative 14, negative 15, negative 16. There you go. And show us this one. Excuse me.
So you do a
Open circle.
open?
Should be open. I don't see an equal to sign here. That's what the key tells you up there. That might erase the last, so it's okay. Yeah, just bring it down. There you go. It's a little more harder to do when you have the eraser small like that. There you go. And then where are all the numbers that are bigger than negative 15?
Negative.
Yeah, heading back to 0. That's where all the numbers are bigger. Good job. That looks wonderful. Okay? Are you kind of getting the idea of what to do? There's a really cool trick. It only works if the variable is on the left side of the inequality. It doesn't really work on the right side, okay? But when the variable is on the left, notice, is there kind of a correlation between the way your inequality is pointing and the way your arrow is pointing? Do you see kind of a correlation?
Because if it's like that way.
Do you see it? I mean, Sophie sees it. She just said yes. You don't see it? You see how that looks like an arrowhead? It looks like it's pointing right. Your arrow is going to the right. This looks like it's pointing left. Your arrow is going to the left. That trick only works if the variable is on the left side of the inequality.
So it's true if it's on the left.
It's always true on the left. When the variable's on the left side, that trend will always be true. Now, when that variable moves to the right, like you have 1 is greater than A, like that, that's not true. You're not going to be able to draw it like that, okay? Using, it's not, the arrow's not going to point to the right, okay? It just isn't. So if, do you guys have a piece of notebook paper in your, pick out a piece of notebook paper and split it in half with your table partner, okay? Just a piece of notebook paper, okay? And then take out your darkest, heaviest pen. If you've got an inky type of pen or a really dark pen, take that out. It doesn't have to be pencil, okay? Split it in half. Your Sharpie's perfect. Use a Sharpie. That's great. Okay, split your paper with somebody that's sitting near, okay? Now, on one side of your paper, as dark as you can without breaking through the paper, I want you to write 1 is greater than A. Actually, let's do 1 is greater than X. Do X instead. 1 is greater than X. Just like that, okay? Now, this is what I want you to do. Yeah, use a Sharpie. If you've got a Sharpie, I'd rather use a Sharpie because you'll be able to see right through the paper, which is perfect. Exactly what I want you to see. Okay, that's okay. Just do as dark as you can. Okay? Now, once you have it written down, 1 is greater than X. okay? I want you to flip your paper over and tell me what you see.
Where X
X is greater than less than 1.
X less than 1.
1 is greater than X is the same thing as X is less than 1. So that's what we're literally doing. We're flipping the whole thing over. So we want X on the left. We're flipping the sign over. We're moving the number over. And so if you're ever like, I don't like it in that order, I don't see it well in that order, you can always flip everything over. I'm going to try another one.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this one. Let's do 11 is less than or equal to X. Write that one down. 11 is less than or equal to X. Flip it
X is
over.
equal to 11.
X is equal to or less than.
Very good. That's exactly right. When you flip it over, you see how X and 11 switch positions and your symbol flipped over. Do you see that? Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Okay? And so we're not always going to have a piece of paper where we can do that in front of us. So I want you to get used to seeing us flipping it over in our minds. X and 11 are going to switch, and the symbol will flip over. So if it's ever out of order where you have the variable on the right side, you're going to flip it over. You can put it on the left side instead. Okay?
I found it.
Slide it back on the floor for me. Okay? Now, did that help you visually just a little bit understand if you ever come across that, what to do? Okay, very good. Now let me show you. This is really weird. You may not have ever been shown letter F. I just decided to put it in there because your book talked about an inequality being not equal to. Okay? So let me show you how to do this one. Okay? Let's do 4, 5, 6. Let's talk this one out. This is what it says. A is not equal to 5. A is not equal to 5. So what, in other words, we're going to see a very unusual graph here. Yeah, okay? So to indicate not equal to, we're going to do an open circle, because remember a closed circle or filled in circle would say, yeah, count that number as part of the answer. And they're saying, no, A is not equal to 5. But A can equal everything else. And so that's the one unusual inequality where you're going to see arrows, 2 arrows going both directions is in the not equal to. That means every number to the left of 5 and every number to the right of 5, every one of those numbers are not equal to 5. So let's test it. 4 is not equal to 5. Yep, last time I checked, 4 was not equal to 5. 6 is not equal to 5.
Yep.
6 doesn't equal 5, that's right, okay? So the only thing that does equal 5 is 5, and we separated that out. We separated that out. What's that? Getting low? Okay.
I see 35 divided by 70.
There you go. We got it. Okay, so you did a couple of graphs there. You did a really good job. Really good on that. I think you're getting it. Okay? Now, example 3, we need to be able to write inequalities. If I give you an inequality, you need to be able to write a math statement about it. Okay? So I gave you the graph in letter A, B, and C. I gave you the graph. Okay? Now, the first place you're going to start is pick any variable you want. X is fine. Okay? It could be any variable. Just pick any variable. Okay, we'll start with X in this one, okay? Now, we know what's on the left side. Left side's going to be our variable. The right side is going to be the number that our dot is on top of. In letter A, our dot is on top of what number? 1. Okay? Now, you got to figure out what the inequality symbol is. Okay? It's all these numbers to the right of 1. Are those bigger than 1 or smaller than 1? Bigger. And then it's filled in.
So it would be
Greater than or equal to. Very good. Very good. You got it. Okay, Watson, letter B, tell me a variable you want me to use.
W.
Z. We're going to do something exotic. Okay. Zebra. Okay. And then Nate, on the other side of our inequality symbol, what number are we going to put on the other side? Where are we starting this whole thing?
Oh,
Negative 9. Okay. All right. Now, you got to pay a little bit of attention. You got two little details you got to pay attention to. First of all, are all these numbers that are to the left of negative 9, are they bigger than negative 9 or smaller? Okay, smaller. And it's an open circle. What does that mean?
That's
Do
not.
I put an equal to sign there? No, don't put an equal to sign. So I'm going to put Z is less than negative 9. Z is less than negative 9. Okay. All right, AC, try this one. Give me a variable to start with. A. What number are we beginning with?
120.
120. And then based on the open circle and the direction of our arrow, what would I put down? So 130 is less than, greater than. So A is greater than 120. Now let me go back to our little trick I taught you on the other page. Is there a correlation between the arrow in my graph and the direction that my inequality is pointing? Yes, there is. There's a correlation. So if you get stuck and you're like, I don't know which way to flip it, I don't know if it's greater than or less than, I'm confused by that. When you start with your variable, then your inequality symbol is going to match up or follow the direction of your arrow. Always, always, always. Okay?
I wonder if you can hold on to it, but like, say if like you did, whatever happens if we have like a graph and we had to like write a number and then write a sign and then a letter.
You could do it that way. I normally, when I do graphs like this, I always start with a variable. No, you don't have to intentionally start it with a number. Yeah, you don't have to do that. All right, let's do an application. I'm going to kind of go through step by step and put some steps here for you to follow. To be labeled sugar-free, a food product must contain less than half a gram of sugar per serving. We're going to write an inequality to describe this requirement. Now, step one is we want to identify the variable. So we want to use S, okay? What does S represent?
Sugar.
Okay, amount of sugar. Good. Very good. Nice job. Okay, so that's always going to be our first step. We want to start with identifying the variable. And of course, we've got to understand what this is. I'm writing a letter down, but what does the letter mean? So for us, AB did a great job. She said, let's use S for sugar, amount of sugar. Great. Okay, now step two, let's circle the words in our original problem that tell us this has to be an inequality. Okay, I'll read it to you again. To be labeled sugar-free, a food product must contain less than half a gram of sugar per serving. So Nate, what do you see? Less than. I'm going to circle those words. That's my inequality words right there. That tells me what symbol I should use. Okay? Step three, we're going to underline the given number that should come after the inequality. So what's our given number? What do you think, Sophie? Yeah, 0.5 grams of sugar. And the last step, we're going to write the inequality. So it's a real easy formula. Start with your variable. Then write the inequality less than. And then put your underlined number.
What goes to greater than?
Okay? And so I put some hints down here at the bottom. Here are phrases to look for that indicate an inequality. We just did this one right here, the less than, okay? You may see words that say greater than. You may see less than or equal to. This is going to be, I think these two words we're going to see those sets of words fairly frequently. I know in algebra we see them a lot. Less than or equal to means at most. That's your top number, and that's the number, that's the biggest I can go, but it's everything below that, at most, okay? Greater than or equal to, another set of words is at least, okay? I want to make at least a 95 on my next test, Mrs. Thompson. Am I saying that's the top number I'm going to make, or that's the bottom number I'm going to make? I want to make that number or better.
Yeah, that's the bottom.
Yeah, it's the bottom number. At least means the given number is the lowest number, and you want every number above that number or above, okay? And of course, we've got is not equal to here, so I want to indicate that. All right, let's flip to that last page, and I've set it up similarly for you. Why don't you take a second and see if you can figure it out. Follow those same 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, let me get one person to come up and do step 1, identify the variable we would like to use, and then tell me what it means. Watson, come on up. And then step 2, I need somebody to circle the words to, who hasn't been up yet? Nate, okay, circle the words that indicate an inequality. And I need step 3, underline the number that's AC will do. Can you do it with the pen, because this is being recorded?
Oh,
Yeah, that would be really helpful, thanks. I think it's time,
Oh,
ours time.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all you do, amount of time. There you go, that's great.
30 seconds.
That's fine, time is seconds, seconds is time. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, David and Nicole.
You're fine. You're fine. You're doing a great job. Okay, all right, and then let him do that one. Good, and then AC underline and AB come up and finish up step 4 for us. Good. Awesome.
Oh, sorry. Can I just like?
Yeah. Yes, you can. Beautiful. That looks great. That looks great. How did you do on your paper? Good. Did anybody do a different variable? S is fine. S for seconds. You could have done T for time. X. There are lots of variables, so you're not. Watson chose R. It's not a big deal. Choose whatever you want. Okay. So great job. Now, do these steps kind of help you understand what do I do first? What do I write second? What do I write third? Put it all together. I'm trying to make it easy on you so it makes a little bit better sense, okay? All right. Now, I have a little exit ticket for you. And try to do these without any help at all, okay? Try not to ask your friend for any help. Do this all by your little lesson. And David and Nicole, if you are watching this video, if you'll pause it for just a second, we're getting ready to put the answers up. You'll pause it, do the exit ticket, and then you can turn it back on and check your answers.
Is this like mine? Like, did I watch
It's not a live feed, but it's, once I put it on YouTube, they can watch it. Yeah. No, it's not anything that they can watch, right? It's not anywhere they can access it right now. It's on my hard drive. Can we get some people who haven't been up yet? So, number 1, let me get person, will you take care of number 1 for me? 2A, Blair, will you do that one for me?
2A.
2B, Avery, will you come up and do that one for me? Number 3, AC, will you do number 3 for me?
I would do that.
Okay. I'm not ready yet, but, and then number 4, Todd, will you do number 4 for me when you get that? You have plenty of time, no rush. Yeah, it's 6 by 4, right. And then you can point it the right direction. It's still the other way. The closer you get to 0, the bigger the numbers are. The stylus, yeah. This one, yeah, looks good. Very good. Good job. Yeah.
All right, anyone?
We're not having enough for you this week.
Right, over break.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I don't think he should do that.
I know one teacher. No. Oh, okay.
I heard Avery.
Awesome. How did you guys do as you're checking your answers and you see number 1? Carson did number 1 for us. Which numbers are solutions if k is greater than -6? He marked out -8 and -6 because they aren't greater than -6. So you mark those out. 0 through 7 is the right answer. Give me a thumbs up. How did you do on that one? Okay. Okay. Having a hard time with that one? What you could do, here's something that could help you, is you could draw yourself a number line, okay? And you know that negative 8 is your lowest number, so you could go negative 8, negative 7, negative 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, okay? And here's negative 6, and we are looking for all the numbers that are bigger than negative 6. So you could draw yourself a picture of it. You know how to do that. And you go, well, negative 8's not on that line. That's not on my line. Negative 6, that has an empty circle over it, so it's not equal to negative 6. And then all the numbers that are on the line are going to be 0, 3, 7. You could draw yourself a picture if you needed to. Okay? Let's see, Blair did 2A, R is less than or equal to 2. Nailed it. She got it. And then Avery got 2B, M is greater than negative 5. Okay? Just make sure, don't make the mistake when you draw your negative numbers, don't do this. This is a mistake, okay? Negative numbers, remember, when you start at 0, 0, and head left, you're going 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. So it should be inverted. So don't do this. That's an error, okay? AC came up, did write an inequality. Looks great. What variable, do you have to use A?
No.
No, you can use any variable. She picked it because it's the first letter of her first name. So A is less than or equal to negative 24. Looks good. Todd came up and did Y. Did he have to do Y? Could he use any other variable?
Yeah.
Yeah, could he use any variable? Y is greater than or equal to 18. Okay, that's great. Looks really good. How did you do?
Good.
Good? Awesome. Very good. Okay. Let me stop the recording really quick. Okay. Let's see here. Make sure.